Okay, I'm back. So today I was watching this video on YouTube about this guy, like, he was like exploring like Cuba or whatever. And I thought it was interesting because like everywhere he went, like there was all these people like trying to scam him. They were like, "Hey, you want money?" Or no. You got money. You got money for this, that. Like the locals were all trying to take his money. They were like, "Oh well," like it's sometimes he was like didn't want their services, like taxis or all this other stuff they were trying to sell him. And he was like no, and they were like yes, because you have to pay them for stuff, like every one of them. Now I saw it like this barber shop or whatever in Cuba were like charging them 1,000 pesos for a haircut, and he was like, no, that's too much, that's trying to rip me off. And so the barber, like, he accepted 600. He's like, pay with me whatever you want, like the barber, but and I was like, dang, man. And like the guy was saying, like the food down there is like horrible. I don't know, man. I respect people's hustle, man. Cause like, look, if I lived in a country that like was just poor, they didn't run good, they didn't run the country good, and like it was just like a bad place to be, and I see this foreigner coming out of nowhere, or coming to the country, and he has money, and I would do this. I would be like, hey man, like you want, and I knew like how to do services for them, like to help them out around the country, show them around and stuff like that. I would do it too. I could respect the hustle because they're in a poor country, and they don't have anything down there, so it's not like. It's just like they're going for a hard time down there. And like the guy I was named Kurt. Like his YouTube channel is called Kurt. And I was like, man, I started I was like, man, this is a pretty good YouTube channel. Like I never saw, like he tells the truth like about what's Cuba's like and stuff like that. And like he talks about all the scams down there and stuff like that. Like he's visiting there or whatever. And yeah, man, I was like, dang, this is crazy. But yeah, oh no, man, makes me glad I live in America. I can tell you that much. We don't, our whole country ain't suffering. Unlike in Cuba. And the food there, like, apparently he said it was like horrible. Like everything's imported, and I mean, which makes sense, it's a foreign country, so of course they're gonna get stuff imported. But I saw the hotels, the old buildings, man, it looks so bad. Like they didn't even they don't keep it up. They don't keep up with the construction on it. That's the problem. Then over time they didn't keep up with the construction on it, cause that's why it's falling apart, and they don't. It's just like they just don't care. The people, constructors, if they even have them, I think so. They're able to build other buildings. So I guess the government's cheap, and he don't want to keep them up to date. Want to repair them, and I saw it, and I was like, man, I can't imagine if I lived in a place like there was people living up in there. Them buildings looked unsafe. They looked like they were about to fall apart any day. I was like, man, I can't imagine living like that, man. I'm like the only good, like the people there, most of them were pretty cool, but besides the people who try to rip them off or whatever, I thought I could understand where they're coming from, like the whole rip them off kind of thing, because think about it, I'm trying to make much money as possible so I can live in a country where everything's falling apart, and it's just not a good country. It's not a good place to be. So I can understand where they're coming from, but I mean that's not a way. I don't condone that. I don't condone that kind of behavior, like scamming people and ripping them off. I'm just saying I can understand where they're coming from a little bit, but man, if they did it to me, I would be pretty angry. But whatever, I wouldn't say nothing because I'm in a foreign country where it's not my country. So and I'm not used to that environment. It's a scary environment. You're a tourist there, and yeah, it's pretty scary going to like a communist run country. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the video I watched. Like there was like a few videos I watched. It's pretty entertaining. But yeah, that Curry guy's he's pretty good touring the country, like in recording it. It's pretty good videos he makes. But yeah, alright, thanks for watching.